Some of them are old and some of them have actually come in quite brand new. I didn't want to start off on any kind of particular order, but I am going to start off with some lipsticks and lip balms, I suppose. And these are the Sexy Balms from L'Oreal. I'm sure people have reviewed these already. You get them in sheer and then you get them in bold as well. So the sheer ones kind of come in the kind of, can you see, like the sheer plasticky form, and they're subtle shades of colour, quite glossy on the lips. They don't last too long. I'm not too keen on them, but I do like them if I'm just in a quick rush and I can apply this and I'm good to go. And they come out quite sheer, so it's just a subtle shade of colour, and when you haven't actually have them on your lip, when they transfer onto your lip, they look quite glossy. But if you go for one coat, it doesn't look as glossy. If you're going in for a couple of, it can look quite glossier. So I am loving them, but I do like them, but I'm not kind of loving them as my favorite kind of lipsticks from the drugstore. This one is in a bold, and I really do like the way they swatch and the color combinations. The range of colours that they have are amazing. They swatch amazingly as well. They don't transfer that great on my lips in the fact that they don't last as long. If they lasted a little bit longer, I would think I would love them completely. But whereas I keep reapplying these, I don't think they're going to be ones that are going to be my favourites where I'm always using them. I like to have a lipstick, I'm quite picky with my lipsticks, where I like them to kind of last me all day, so I'm not reapplying. So these probably don't last as long, but if you don't mind reapplying, then these are great lip balms, and they're not stains, they're lip balms and sheer lip kind of glossy kind of lipsticks. So yeah, and then the other two products I got from lip products that I got from L'Oreal recently, and I've been testing out and trying all kind of week, going on like nearly 2 weeks, are these, and they're the so I've got mine in the L'Oreal number 2 Virgin, and they are matte lip stains, and you kind of twist them open and they click, and you hear the click and they come open, and they have this like spongy kind of effect, and you apply it onto your lips. The only problem that I have with these is they are very drying. The colour comes out very matte. It's very pigmented, very matte, but the only problem with these is after a while, I would say about half an hour to an hour, they literally have come off in the middle area of my mouth, and it really doesn't look great. And they kind of are flaking off, and the colour just comes off, it rubs off after a half hour to an hour. Doesn't have very much lasting power. Again, I love the pigments of these, I love the way they swatch. I didn't love the way they felt very dry on my lips. But the colour selection of these are great, but they just have no lasting power. I mean, this colour here is really beautiful. It's like a pinky, it's not like a bright pink, it's a very subtle pink. It's that one down at the bottom, and you know, they are beautiful colours, but they just didn't transfer to last me that long during the day, and they really did start rubbing off during the day. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so basically I wouldn't, if you don't mind reapplying, but then it getting flaky, and I didn't love these. They're not my favourite. I just don't love it when a lipstick that is matte rubs off. I feel like if it had a tiny bit of moisture in it, then it would last a little bit longer. So hence why my favourites have to be these lipsticks. I know they're not from the drugstore, but they are on the high street, and they're probably around the same price as drugstore prices. They're from H&M. I've got mine in the colour Sugar Rush and Red Alert. They're my favourite colours. If I want to go for a red, I've got a red. If I want to go for a pinky kind of colour, then I've got a pinky kind of pop of colour. I love these lipsticks. They're amazing. They are matte. They're semi-matte. I would say they're semi-matte, so they have a tiny bit of moisture to them, but they still, if you don't wear any lip balm underneath, they are matte, and they last me the whole day. Like, I love going for these because they're so quick and easy to put on. I don't even put a lip liner on with these. They're so easy, they glide on perfectly. They really allow me to, you know, get the right. I've got Sugar Rush on at the moment, so it looks quite glossy, but I put a lip balm underneath because my lips have been quite dry recently, where I've been testing out these a lot. So honestly guys, these are really nice matte. I would just try them just to see how you go with them for a week, because at first I was like forgetting that I had them, and when I started testing these out, I really do love them because of their lasting power. They last the whole day. I'm not reapplying, they don't get patchy or anything. I don't have to worry about my lips getting dry or anything. you know, I really do love that these have an all-round effect. They last long, they great pigments, they're matte, well, semi-matte, and you know, you get your money's worth out of these products for the drugstore. They're about £5.99 each, I think, in H&M at the moment, and I think I'm going to pick up some more colours because their colour range is also amazing. I'll show you guys what these swatch like, just to show you how pigmented they are. Oh, I've just put a wipe on my hands, but how pigmented is that? And that's the colour Sugar Rush in 210. And the other one I have is Red Alert. I do have a few more of these lipsticks, and I think I've done a whole review on them. So check out my review on the H&M products, but I might do an updated review just to show you guys how these products actually look and everything. Maybe I'll do like a makeup get ready with me on all the H&M makeup cosmetics that I have. But yeah, I just think they're such beautiful colours, semi-matte, they're not completely matte, but honestly I think if you want a really matte colour, then you have to probably understand that if you're going to go completely matte, that your lips could get quite dry and flaky. I think there's Sleek do a couple of the matte. I've got one in front of me because I was just going through all my drugstore products. Sleek do these, and I have mine in the colour Fired Up, and this is probably one of my favourite colours from them because I just like to apply a tiny bit here because they're very matte, but I've noticed that these last a lot better than these L'Oreal matte ones. They last a lot longer than them. So if you're, I think again they're in the same price range, about £5.99. So in the same price range as these. I think these are about £7.99. So these are a bit less, but I think these last a little bit longer and they're cheaper. So if you're looking for a nice matte kind of finish that's very matte, then I would recommend something like this. But if you don't mind having a semi-matte finish, then these H&M ones are absolutely amazing. I love them. Highly recommended those. The other products I want to talk about are brow products. I've currently been loving this. It's currently what I have on at the moment, and it's a Brow Artist Plumper. I'll just read the back to you because it gives a really good description of the actual product. It says it's a brow gel mascara with fibres for fuller looking brows, and honestly I feel like that's what it does. It has this wand, and I have mine in a medium dark, but I find it's more of a dark. It really does work well with my actual colour of my brows, and it's like on this one, it's like a mascara, and you apply it and it's like it's giving you a tint to your brows and really creating those extra kind of fibres to make your brows look more defined and just like you have darker brows, but the perfect amount of pigment. So I really love this, and I feel like it's not leaving my brows sticky, it's really setting my brows at the same time. I feel like this would really work if the mascara inside doesn't dry up. So I will see how it transfers over the next couple of weeks to see if it dries out and doesn't work over a significant amount of time, as well as my powdered waxy kind of eyebrow kit would work. So I'm really enjoying this so far. I just love how it makes my brows look, and it's really easy to use. It's so easy to use. I don't have to use a pencil to draw in my brows. I can just literally use it like a mascara. So if you're looking for something like this, really quick, really simple, you're a mum that's on the go, then I would recommend this. And you're just looking for that tiny amount of colour. It gives a great pigmented colour, and you have control over how much you're using as well. You can go in again and use it to make it look darker. I would highly recommend this. It's the L'Oreal Paris Brow Plumper. I'll again leave the names of the products in the description box below. The other two products I'm going to talk about is concealers, and normally I don't get along with drugstore concealers that much, but I've really been testing out different types of concealers in the drugstore, and I was watching who was it? Kathleen Lights, who I absolutely love watching, and she loves everything from the Maybelline collection, especially their Fit Me products, because she has dry, sensitive skin like me, and she always recommends the Maybelline Fit Me concealers, and I've never tried it, and I was like, I'm going to give it a go. I couldn't find the powder, but I really want to try the Maybelline Fit Me powder. And I couldn't find it in store, so I think I'm going to order it online. But I love this concealer. It does not at all crease up under my eyes. It works so well. I'm so glad I found something that's cost effective from the drugstore. Highly recommend this product. I've got mine in the colour 35, which is like a sandy kind of colour. I think I've lost the sticker that's on the bottom, but it's like a sand sable, I think it's called, or is this called sand sable? This is called, okay, so this is like a medium colour, and I've got it in the colour 35, but it's like a medium sandy kind of colour. It really goes with my skin tone. I try and get a concealer that's matched to my skin tone, because I find it really helps to conceal my under eye area, which is quite dark. So I always go in with that, and then I've been highlighting with this under my eyes, which I honestly feel like the combination of these two are working so well together. And this is from the Dream Lumi Touch Maybelline concealer and highlighter. It's, yeah, concealer and highlighter, and I literally go in with this concealer to conceal under my eyes on top of my foundation, and then go in with this to just kind of highlight my eye area to bring some nice lightness back into that area. And honestly, this combination is so great. You just twist it up and apply it, and I apply my concealer with my fingers under my eyes, and honestly I'm loving that combination at the moment. It's really working for me. This doesn't crease up under my eyes either. I just go in with a very light translucent powder, and it just sets my concealer in place and doesn't crease up. I wouldn't use a powder that is a heavier powder to set my concealer or foundation, because I find it will go into my fine lines. So I set with a more of a translucent sheer kind of pressed powder, or anything that you can find. I'm just looking for the colour of this, and it's in the number 3 Sand Sable. And the powder that I've been loving currently, I really want to try out that Maybelline Fit Me powder, because it's a translucent. I feel like it would really work for my dry sensitive skin, but this at the moment is really working for my skin. And I just set this powder with my concealer, my foundation, and it works perfectly. It's from H&M, and it's their Warm Beige True Matte Finishing Powder. I'm currently loving this powder, honestly. I hit pan on my Laura Mercier one, which I also speak about. I know it's not in the drugstore, but I thought I'd mention it. So I just kind of been using my H&M one, but honestly this is a great powder. It just really sets everything in place. Without kind of adding any kind of colour or setting into my fine lines or making it look cakey, making my foundation look cakey. This does the same thing. It really just allows me to set my foundation and my under eyes, my concealer under my eyes, and it works so nice. It's so finely milled. It's a very light handed powder, and it feels really moisturising, really creamy on my skin, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. So yeah, I would highly recommend these, and I think again they're about $7.99 for each powder, and they've got a great range. They've got mattes, they've got translucent loose powders, they have pressed powders. So check H&M out, because their powders are amazing. I would highly recommend their powders. The other thing I wanted to talk about was mascaras, and the 2 mascaras from the drugstore that I'm currently loving is, this probably has to be my favourite, but I'm just currently finishing this one off, and I love the Colossal. I've always gone back to the Colossal because it gives me those really quick lashes on, like your quick, separates my lashes really quickly, on the go, good to go. You just apply this with one coat and it's fine. You don't need too many coats of this. It really helps to separate those lashes. It has more of a thicker brush than, if you don't like really big fat brushes because you eyes are smaller and things like that, then this is like a medium-sized brush. But sometimes I do find it's quite a fat brush, but it really separates my lashes really well. It's got a nice, I love the way it makes my lashes look after I've applied it. This is even better because it has a wand that is a thinner wand, and it's like on a curve. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like on a curve, and then it really allows me to go in with my mascara and separates my lashes amazingly. It's like it gives you this huge heap of lashes all in one go, and it's really quick and easy to use if you're just quickly trying to look for some lashes and not sit there for a long time trying to get your lashes to go in the right direction. This really allows you to do it in one setting, and it has these little bristles that I kind of describe as like little needles that are really getting in there. Especially this works really nicely on the bottom lashes. It really allows me to separate my bottom lashes, and I've got it on today, and I just feel like it really makes my lashes look up and lifted and separated just the way I love them. So highly recommend this mascara. Just give it a go to see how it makes your lashes look. So I'm loving that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was primers. Primers are quite hard to, I suppose, come by, especially with dry sensitive skin, but there is so many out there now at the drugstore. Like, so many, it's overwhelming because you don't know which to kind of go for, especially if you have dry sensitive skin like me. I'm kind of like, sometimes I find primers a bit too greasy on my skin, a bit too heavy on my skin. I just want something really light that's not going to kind of make me look greasy in these areas during the day. And I love these two. So this one is from Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. It's lightweight primer. It kind of transfers, as soon as you rub it into your skin, it's like an invincible kind of primer. It's kind of an invincible kind of primer, and it literally is so light and silky feeling, and it really reminds me of the one that Gosh have, and I think they still have it. I used to use that one all the time when I was like 16, 17. Like, I used to use that primer on underneath my foundation all the time, and I loved it. And then obviously when you find new products and you kind of forget to repurchase them, but this is along the same lines as that, and it really kind of leaves a, because it's a pore eraser, it kind of leaves, I feel like it does, like a matte kind of finish. So it kind of like makes those pores kind of invisible. Well, it tries to. I feel like it is, and it also helps to hydrate my skin on top of my moisturizer and keep my makeup kind of lasting longer and sitting my makeup in place, so it's not moving around when I'm applying it and when I have it on during the day. I really do think this works. If you're looking for more of a luminous type of primer, this one is nice and glowy. So if you're looking for a primer that's going to look glowy on underneath your foundation, then this is more of it's L'Oreal Lumi Magnifique Base Pure Light Primer. And I will just show you how it kind of swatches. So it comes out like a white pigment. So there's all different types of primers out there. I prefer these ones because they're invincible. They don't leave any sheen or glow to your skin. It's just literally a matte kind of finish, and it's not going to give you any type of colour or anything. It's just completely invincible, and you just want that extra moisture on top of your foundation, then I would go for this. But if you want that kind of extra glow to your skin, and you can get this in a primer. So this one, again, look, it gives you kind of a more of a luminous kind of glowy kind of look under your foundation. So I mean, you could just wear this on its own if you're not going to wear any foundation or anything. You just want a primer to give you that extra moisture and setting on top of your BB cream or whatnot. This will give you that, and it is, again, a light, even though it gives you that luminous glow, it's a lightweight primer, and I really do love it. And I do use this on days where I want that kind of glowy feel, and I love it underneath my Healthy Serum Bourjois foundation. I really think these two look great together, but I also love this on top of my Clinique Better Than Ever foundation. I love this. I think it depends on what type of foundation you're wearing as well as to which type of primer you're going to go for, but these two I would highly recommend depending on what type of primers you like. So highly recommend these two. I'm loving them. The foundation that I'm currently loving are from the drugstore at the moment are these, and I know they're not completely new but the Infallible have a brand new 24-hour matte one in the glass bottle, I think, at the moment, which is supposed to be better for drier, sensitive skin, and which is great. But I prefer this. I know it's probably more drying on my skin. It's a very matte finish. It really reminds me of the Giorgio Armani one, the original one, which is very matte. The newer one is probably more glowier. So it really reminds me of that, and it gives you a very matte finish, which this is what I like about it, that it gives me that completely matte finish. It looks great in photos and videos and things like that. If you like a great matte finish, then you will love this. Like, if you like the Estee Lauder foundation Double Wear, then you'll really enjoy this one, and it's a lot cheaper than the Double Wear. This one is $7.99 for the 35 mils. So it is a great affordable matte foundation if that's what you're looking for. If you have dry sensitive skin like me, then it's best with this foundation to make sure you moisturize and use a primer, so you're getting that extra moisture on top of this very matte foundation. Yeah, I would recommend you guys do that. And the other foundation I really love at the moment is this healthy serum from Bourjois. I got the tester because I have a friend that works in there and she gave me the tester, which I thought was really cool. I have mine in the colour 55 and it's a great foundation. It's so light on your skin. It gives you that really nice natural finish, kind of like the Laura Mercier one, which gives you just a really nice natural kind of glow to have throughout the day. It's like you're wearing no makeup but you are. So this does this for me. It just evens out my skin tone for that everyday kind of makeup so well, just on the areas that you need it. You don't have to wear it all over, so it's just great, and it's so lightweight. It doesn't irritate my skin. I just really love it. I really love this foundation. It's the foundation I'm wearing at the moment. I haven't got it all over my skin, but I do have it on these areas here. I've also currently done a drugstore product get ready with me video, so you can check that out, guys, and I will show you how I actually apply this. And it's just, I'm not wearing it all over my skin today, but it just gives me that, evens out my skin tone, just to quickly put something on and you're good to go. So I'm currently loving this foundation at the moment. The other product that I have is a contour cream palette. Have I spoken about this already? I feel like I've spoken about this already. I'm sorry if I have and I'm repeating myself, but this is the L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt, and they've come out with a few products in this selection. They have like it's not a foundation, but it's something that you apply before you apply your foundation. It's like a primer, but it has a tint to it. I haven't tested it out, but I'm really interested to see how that product works. But this is their contour cream palette, and you get a highlight and you get a contour. I'm loving this. Again, it's such a light. I don't use the highlight as much. I tend to like a powdered highlight, but the contour on it is so lightweight. I thought as a cream contour it's going to be heavy, but it's not. That's probably not the best way to. So it's really nice, and I got mine in light to medium because I didn't want a dark contour, but there is a dark contour palette if that's what you're looking for. But again, I got the light one, and it blends so well into, I've got so much on my hand now, but it blends so well and it feels so light on. Sometimes you can find a powdered contour and the powdered contours can can feel quite heavy on the skin. This feels so, I've never seen such a light contour, cream contour. So this is a very light cream contour from the drugstore, and I really love using this at the moment. Even if you're not going to contour your cheeks, you can use it to just contour other areas of your face, and it's really quick and easy to use. And you have a little mirror in there, which is very handy. And I think I had the sponge, but I don't know where it is, or I don't know whether it did have a sponge. I think it did, but mine's kind of like, it's been in and out of my handbag, and kids have been playing with it as well. So, but I'm currently loving that at the moment. I'll give it a test before you buy it, in case you don't like cream contours or you just don't like working with them. But these really blend really nicely. I was really surprised to see how well they actually blended and feel very light on the skin. So I don't really usually go for creams, but I'm actually currently loving this one at the moment. The other one I quickly wanted to mention was the blush from L'Oreal Le Blush Collection Paris, and I love this colour. It's the colour that I've got on at the moment. It's like this corally, I feel like I've got too much on this side, and this side's looking a lot better. But anyway, I love this colour at the moment. It's like a corally kind of pink, kind of like the same colour as my top, but lighter. But it is so pigmented. Be careful with this, guys, when you apply it. Use the tiny amount and then tap off the excess, because it's very pigmented, and the brush has just fallen out. It also comes with, you open it up and it comes with the brush that's just fallen out. Sorry guys. Yeah, and the brush is kind of like a contour kind of brush, which I thought would be hard to apply my brush. I would like to use more of a rounded brush to apply my blush. Yeah, so I would contour with this, but I don't really contour my blush. I tried to just apply my blush to the apples of my cheeks. But it's cool that it has a mirror inside as well. It comes in really handy, easy to pop in your bag as well, really compactable. So I'm currently loving them. I love that it's small as well, because sometimes you get these huge blushes in these huge cases, and like this is so cute and compact and easy for on the go, and it's such a great pigment. Let me just swatch it for you to show you how pigmented it is. it really reminds me of like the sleek blushes, that how pigmented they are. So be really light-handed with this, because it's, you only need a tiny amount to get that colour in your cheeks. But I'm loving these. Highly recommend these. These are great. And they're so light and easy to blend again. And I actually, they're light, but you have to be quite light-handed when you're picking up the pigment, because to blend them, you can't like blend it out to make it look more subtle. So be really light-handed when you're picking them up, because once you've got it on, it's on, so you can't actually blend out the product too much. So I kind of felt like I put too much on, and now I can't kind of blend that out to make it look a bit more subtle. So be really light-handed with these products, because they are very pigmented, but great blushes. The other product, the last product actually, that I think it's the last product, yeah, the last product I want to mention was this palette. So cute and so little, so easy to travel with, or just pop in your handbag. But I don't know if I would pop this in my handbag, because it's not that it's bulky, it's a nice and slimline. I think it'd be great for traveling. But it's the L'Oreal Paris La Palette Nude, and I got mine in the rose because I thought I'll go for something different. Normally I go for brown nudes, but I thought this would be really great to have, because I think it would complement my skin tone, and it really does. It's the eyeshadows I have on at the moment, and I love it. Highly recommend these. They're great. They're lovely pink colours, and then you get these plummy kind of colours here on the end. So this is like quite a deep plum, but I don't know if they're coming up on camera as quite plummy, but this one's kind of more of a greyish. So you've got like two, they're really different combinations. It really threw me, because I was like, these colour combinations are very odd. But you have these like two plums, a plum here, then a grey, then like a shimmery kind of grey, a nudie kind of brown, I suppose. But it's kind of coming up on camera as like a purpley, I don't know. But yeah, and then you get all these like kind of pink toned colours here, which I love using. I have at the moment. I use this for kind of my highlight my brow bone here, and again I've got a video on it, so please check that out guys, on how I applied these products. And then I used this colour here as kind of like a base transition colour, which is such a lovely colour. It went so well with my skin tone. I've never found colours like this. Then I used this one and this one here kind of all over, which I have on now in the middle sections of my area, to give me that subtle colour for just an everyday kind of look. These colours are so great. I'm so surprised that they work so well. It is a bit more on the pricier side for Drugstore. It's $9.99. It retails for $9.99, and I know obviously Revolution have so many palettes, like for £4. I know this is huge compared to this. For about £4 to £6, and you get a huge selection of colours. But again, this is so tiny and compact. You could just pop it in your bag. Gives you a great selection of colours. I love it. I'm loving the way they go on, the way they blended. I wouldn't recommend it otherwise. I just really loved that. I've never found colours that really complement my skin. They're either too dark or too light, but these just blended so well, and they really complemented my skin tone so beautifully and so subtly that you wouldn't even really know that I've got eyeshadow on, but I have. It just gives me that tiny bit of colour that I need for the day. So I'm really loving this palette at the moment. I'm really going to give it a good test out to see how all the other colours kind of work. I'm not too keen on plums anyway, but I will see how I kind of can work with those colours, and maybe do another get ready with me on this palette. So I am loving this palette. I would highly recommend it to you guys. I just loved the way it worked out in the end. And they blended really well. And for brushes, I kind of blended it out with I didn't use the brush that came with it, but I just don't think it would work as well. It's not as fluffy, and where is it? Yeah, so I use my blending brush. You try and find a blending brush. I think Real Techniques have a great range of brushes, but I use this, not this. I use my MAC brush to kind of pack the colour on, and try and find a brush that is kind of like dome but flat at the same time, so it really allows you to get the product and pack it all on. And then I just blend it out with this brush, so there's no harsh lines. Really easy, really quick and simple. Again, check out that video that I show you guys how I applied that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know, again, it's probably a really long rambling video. I'm trying to squash all these products into one video, but please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed these types of videos. and subscribe to my channel, because it really does help me. And I hopefully guys will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.